Hello and welcome to Serenity Space Therapy Substance Abuse Recovery series. Today's topic is what is a relapse and how it happens. A relapse happens when an individual reverts the consumption of drugs or alcohol after a period of abstinence, while a lapse refers to a brief instance of drinking or drug use followed by an immediate cessation. A relapse involves a complete and significant return to the habit of drinking alcohol or using drugs. The AA fellowship does not differentiate between a lapse and a relapse. Those who are in process of recovering from addiction often encounter a continuous and considerable risk of relapse due to changes in the structure and function of the brain caused by prolonged substance abuse. These changes persist long after the initial achievement of sobriety. There are three types of relapse. Intentional relapse happens when you make a conscious decision to drink alcohol or ingest drugs. You intentionally relapse if you smoke marijuana, for example, to relieve stress after a year of sobriety, or have a glass of wine with friends because they feel like they can manage it without negative consequences. And incidental relapse is when you unintentionally use drugs or alcohol. For example, you drink alcohol thinking it's a non alcoholic beverage at a party. Sometimes you unknowingly begin taking steps towards a relapse weeks or even months before actually drinking or using drugs. Certain thoughts, feelings, and events may prompt cravings and urges for drugs and alcohol, and if not properly dealt with, may increase your chances of relapsing. Here's how a relapse happens. There are three stages. A relapse takes place in your spirit when you lose your motivation, then in your mind when cravings outweigh the expected negative consequences, and finally in your physical body when you resume consuming alcohol or ingesting drugs. The emotional relapse phase initiates well before engaging in drug or alcohol consumption. During this stage, you may struggle to handle your emotions in a healthy manner. Rather than addressing your feelings, you might suppress them, withdraw from others, stop attending AA or other social support groups, deny existence of a problem, and neglect self-care. While the thought of using may not be at the forefront of your mind during this stage, avoiding emotions and challenging situations can set the stage for an imminent future relapse. As for mental relapse, conflicting sentiments about maintaining sobriety become apparent. While a part of your desire to stay sober, another part battles cravings and secretly contemplates a relapse. Mental relapse can also involve romanticizing past substance use, downplaying its negative consequences, and actively seeking opportunities to get high or use or drink. The physical relapse involves the physical act of ingesting drugs or consuming alcohol. What might start as a momentary lapse, such as having one drink or one dose of a drug, can rapidly escalate into a full blown relapse where you feel a lack of control over your substance use. The AA fellowship does not differentiate between a lapse and a relapse. Any lapse is a relapse.